Hi, everyone. My name is Karen Kang, and I'm the global lead for culture and education content partnerships here at TikTok. TikTok's goal is to inspire creativity and bring joy to 1 billion people around the world monthly. I would say the magic of TikTok really is its communities, and the Book Talk community is probably one of its most engaged communities on platform. I myself am a huge book reader, so I'm so excited to be here. My very first job actually was working at a bookstore, so I am in happy company. And one of my greatest prides is that I have also trained my daughters to be voracious readers. So if any of you have a favorite bookstore here in Frankfurt, please let me know. This is my first time here to your beautiful city. I'm honored to present Deniz Ulucan, who is the lead book and market researcher, to share some insights on the Book Talk community in Germany. Welcome, Deniz.
Well, thank you, Karen, for the introduction, and thank you so much for having me today. Just a sec. So, over the next few minutes, I want to give you a quick overview of the impact of Book Talk and Book Talk, the communities, to the German book industry. Where's the clicker? But let's start with a short look back. 2 years ago, we actually launched the world's very first official Book Talk charts, starting with the top 20 Germany. And soon after that, we expanded the concept to include additional lists, such as the top 10 non-fiction, the top 10 young adult. We will see it, the top 10 young adult, and also national charts, such as Austria and Switzerland. And we're doing this monthly. So every month there are new lists in the German-speaking area. And in the middle screen, you can see a short example of TikTok, a video showing how creators are using the bestseller lists and bestseller announcements to communicate and to connect with their community. About a year later, the next big step for the Book Talk community and for the German book industry, we introduced also the world's very first Book Talk bestseller sticker, including the Book Talk bestseller author, the Book Talk bestseller #1, and also the Book Talk bestseller. And as well, like in the last slide, you can see there's a video of how creators are using this kind of stickers on their video, and you can see the Book Talk sticker on a book cover, and how they integrate them into their presentations and videos. But beyond the charts, we also track and publish the Book Talk related sales data. And in 2023, around 12 million Book Talk recommended books were sold in Germany. I mean, that is for 2023 a huge number. But in 2024, that number more than doubled, reaching over 25 million Book Talk copies. That's a growth from 23 to 24 from 108%. And of course, I've had a short look into our database right before the book fair and right before the panel, before the event. And as you can see on the next slide, on the next page, we are already in 2025 above 20 million copies, and we expect that to pass the 30 million numbers by the end of the year. So still no limit regarding Book Talk and Book Talk bestsellers. I also brought up a slide for the buyers demographic. So as you can see, when we look at who's buying these kind of Book Talk books, women currently make up to 72% of Book Talk driven buyers. and men 28%. And you can see also the comparison to 2023, women 80 to 83% and men 17%. And also the largest age group are between 30 and 39 years, making or representing around 32% of the entire book talk market. Well, of course, I brought up some new informations for this year, new developments, especially regarding the TikTok shop. Since early 2025, TikTok has expanded its TikTok shop to include books as well. And by the way, Thalia was actually the first retailer in Germany who who brings books into the TikTok shops. And in 2026, all these kind of books sales via the TikTok shops will be reported to Media Control, making it the first time that TikTok shops data becomes a part of the official market statistics and the charts. So this year also a huge milestone also for the corporation as well and for the German book industry and all the market statistics and the bestseller list as well. And last but not least, one more exciting announcement to tell. Just in time for the Frankfurt Book Fair, we are launching a new dynamic bestseller list that can change monthly, depending on market trends. And the world's very first edition is the Book Talk Book to Screen Top 10 chart, starting with September 2025. And I'm sure you all had seen already, but guess who appears 3 times on that very first list? Yeah, exactly. Mercedes Ron on this way. And speaking about Mercedes Ron, she actually holds the record with over 60 placements on the Book Talk bestseller lists across the German market. I mean, what more can I add on that? Just congratulations on that great achievements. Yeah. I would say that's a great point to close on. That's from my side. Thank you for your attention and wishing everyone a successful book fair. Thank you. So.
Sorry. Hello.
Great. So today we're going to talk about how does a book become a cultural force, and how does a book's bestseller turns into must-watch TV and and movies. This panel really unpacks the magic of book talk, where fan buzz is really turning novels into global sensations. Today I'm joined by Maria Contreras and author Mercedes Ron. Mercedes has always dreamed about writing. She began her journey on Wattpad before making her bookseller debut in 2017 with the Culpables saga. Her work has since been translated into 20 languages and has since become a global sensation with successful adaptations of Culpa Mia and My Fault London. Maria Contreras is the head of movies and scripted for Spanish International Originals at Amazon Studios, a very lengthy title. Before joining Amazon in 2021, she spent 11 years at Estras Media Sin. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, as a development executive and executive producer, overseeing successful projects like El Crespo and Talk Talk. I apologize now ahead of time for any mispronunciations of Spanish titles. I am Canadian, so French is my other language. Initially working as a film development executive at Prime Video, she was promoted to head of original films at Amazon Spain to her current role today. Before we start our conversation, I'd like to play a little video on the Book Talk community.
I started My Fault this morning, and I think it's going to be the cure to my slum.
Book Talk is where books come alive
and where readers make the magic happen. It's a global community on TikTok where millions share what they're reading, what moved them, and what they can't stop thinking about. With over 370 billion views and counting, Book Talk has turned quiet reads into global hits, fueling fan momentum behind the stories they already love, launching new authors, reviving old favorites, and inspiring film and TV deals around the world. Here, a single post can make a book a bestseller. A passionate review can spark a million conversations. It starts with one reader, one post, one moment that resonates. Then it spreads through comments, reactions, and conversations. On Book Talk, stories spread because the community cares. That's what turns a book into a movement. On TikTok, discovery feels personal. 87% of users say they come across content they actually relate to. That's what makes Book Talk different. It's not just about summaries or star ratings. It's about emotional connection. It's not just a feed. It's a reflection of what moves you. Discussions, imaginations, universes, turning stories into screen adaptations across languages and formats. It's not just about what we're reading. It's about what we're watching, sharing, and celebrating together. This is where books become something bigger. This is the future of storytelling. From one video to 190 countries, Book Talk helped Culpables become one of Prime Video's biggest global hits. And fans didn't stop there. They kept the buzz alive. With Spotlight, they found each other, shared reactions, and built something bigger than a feed. This isn't just a trend. This is storytelling powered by fandom. TikTok, fandom without borders.
Great. First, I'd like to start by congratulating you both on the final installment of the Culpable series, which actually, Culpa Nuestra, came out today on Amazon
Yes.
Prime.
Thank you.
So if you're big fans, queue up your watching for tonight. Mercedes, let's start from the very beginning. What drew you to writing and made you realize that you could actually make a career out of being an author?
Actually, I started reading very late. I think I was 13 years old. At first, I didn't like it. I was like, oh, I don't like. I think I didn't find a book that I loved. And suddenly, I read Twilight, and I became a huge fan. And I started reading everything that I could. And my mom couldn't buy me all the books that I read, and I read them so fast. So I was like, okay, let's just write what I want to read. And it started like that as a hobby. And when I ended my first book, I was like, okay, I can do this. And then is when I realized that I really wanted to I know, become a professional writer. And here I am. But it was a really long way to get here, but I'm very happy.
I love that. I feel like Twilight is the gateway for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Obviously you have a massive fandom on TikTok before becoming a bestseller. When did you realize TikTok's impact on you and your work as an author?
Actually, I wasn't aware until someone told me, like, have you? Because I had my TikTok account and I wasn't paying that much attention to it. And I went there and I posted like a stupid video talking about culpa, and suddenly it went viral. And I was like, oh my God. And I suddenly started to get a lot of followers. And I started looking at books and reviews, and it was amazing. And I love the way they talk about books and they make all these edits. And I don't know, I think it's amazing. And it's crazy that now like reading and writing is cool, because when I was at school, it was like I was kind of shy and I was reading all the time in my room, and now everyone find a place where they can talk about it and have fun. And I think it's great, and that's why we can see all these numbers, because people are not shy anymore to say that they love reading and they like writing and they love books.
Yeah, I love that. I am definitely part of that fandom. One of the things that I think is really incredible about TikTok, for myself as well, is the ability to, discover authors from around the world. Obviously, TikTok has played a huge role in you gaining this sort of global audience of readers. As Dennis mentioned, in Germany, you're the record holder for the
That's
most.
crazy. I didn't know that.
So that was an incredible surprise. How do you feel that global reach has shaped your experience as an author?
Well, with TikTok and then the movies, it gave me a lot the opportunity to, I don't know, to have my book translated in so many languages. And I don't know, it was crazy in 2021 with all the pandemic and everything. People find the place where they were bored at home and they suddenly started to talk about books. And my book was published in 2017. So it was like 4 years, sorry. And suddenly it went viral and the sales were crazy. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And then they started to translate the book in so many languages, like in French, in German. And I don't know, it was so cool to find that people love my books no matter where they come from.
Amazing. Maria, I mean, I think the Culpables series is like a really great example of like a story that had this like passionate global fan base and, has obviously now evolved to this incredible global franchise. Could you share a little bit more about what stood out about this story and what made it, great for Amazon original strategy?
When I first came to Amazon, I had a previous experience working in A3 Media Cine, and I started there. And my former boss actually told me to look at the slate. I was hired to start the movie department. So one of the books that she handed to me was Culpa, and I read it, and I was like, oh my God, because from the film industry point of view, we've been looking for a project like that. It reminded me when I was very young and I had these movies that really changed me, like Dirty Dancing, Grease, 10 Reasons to Hate You, Before Sunrise, just gave me so. And then other movies that I didn't grow up with, but I was a bit older, like Twilight, of course, and another book adaptation that, curiously, I worked in my years in A3 Media, that was Tres metros sobre el cielo, 3 meters above the sky, by Federico Mocchia. So when I read the book, I realized that you had the forbidden love story, but you had the thriller and the thrills, and then there's a lot of the iconography that makes it very easy and very visual, because this is something we've been talking, how this book was nearly a script. So it was very easy to imagine it as a movie. So it was very clear for us that it was directed to YA. We had other kind of books. It was actually the movie was the second movie we released, or the third movie we released at Amazon. Can't remember now, but it was a huge success. But you could tell it fit perfectly. They were already working with Maxton Hall, because both of them actually we were developing them at the same time.
Oh wow!
It's very curious. Yes, from Germany and Spain, we were all both looking at something like that. So I think it fit perfectly with the strategy. So. Very excited.
I mean, we talk a lot about, fandom and fueling that, immediate fan base. Could you share a little bit more about how key was the book talk fandom in that decision to adapt the book?
I think it's very. Let me get you a little back in time, but I think before we didn't have that closeness to the fans. I worked in another adaptation that didn't work as well in my previous company. And there were a lot of comments afterwards when we did the adaptation. And now we've got the audience talking to us. So it's amazing to see what they like, what they don't, what they're expecting. So we need to translate what they're thinking. So book talk is very essential for that, because we have the audience, we can talk to them. That didn't happen before. In other previous jobs, previous works I worked, didn't. So it does help to see them coming alive. For example, when we presented Culpa Mía, it was very exciting because we presented actually 2 books adaptations. In the first in the morning, we presented Reina Roja, which is a TV show, a book by Juan Gómez Jurado, and the fandom, Nothing to Do, more adult. And then we presented Culpa Mía. The fans were waiting there from 6 o'clock in the morning, waiting in the queues. And then we realized how important it was, and we to listen to them. They had the idea of Nick, they had the idea of Noah. They wanted to put some songs in the movie, and actually we saw them dancing to
Gasolina.
Gasolina, and we said, oh, okay, we're putting that there. So there are a lot of things that we do look in TikTok or BookTok and put them in the adaptations. So we're sort of cheating.
Is it cheating though? If
It's
like
not.
it's people obviously love it, right?
Yes.
That actually is like a really good lead up to my question for you, Mercedes, is that, you know, obviously fans often build like entire conversations and communities around, you know, all of the characters. They fall very deeply emotionally involved with these characters that they read on screen. Can you share any surprising sort of moments for you when you see engagement like that online?
Well, the edits that they do are amazing. I think the movie went viral because of that.
Yes.
Like fans were making the most cool edits of the movie. And as Maria said, I was kind of the voice of the fans for them. Like, this is so important, please keep it in the movie, or this phrase or this scene. And it's crazy how people with the first one, they were
Yes.
so excited to
The
see all
stairs,
these
all of
scenes and all the things that we wanted to have there in the movie. And I think that's why people really loved it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I think also is really interesting, because this is a series, right? The movies. And so it's as you're releasing these, you know, movies, the fandom continues to grow larger at each iteration. And when you look back at the very beginning, how do you feel like this has changed you professionally and personally, seeing that evolution of growth of fandom as people, you know, maybe there could be people who never read your books and got really into the series and then started reading your books. And so, you know, can you share a little bit more about that?
Well, it changed my life completely. Like when I go back in time and I was like, I know, 17-year-old girl writing a book in my room, just me. And now everything that I've learned because of the movies, the first thing I learned is like I need to trust people, because I was so used to be just me and she's laughing because at first it was kind of difficult. Yeah, because I was used to me making all the decisions, and then I need to give them the book and trust people that I didn't know back then. And I was so scared when I went to watch the movie and everyone was waiting in the room, the next room.
Yes.
And I was thinking that I was not going to like the movie. I was like, how am I going to tell all these people that I don't like it? And then I watched it and I was so happy. And it was amazing. It was so cool. It was so funny and romantic and spicy. It had everything that I really wanted. So that's one thing that I really learned. And now we have like all these movies coming out, which I'm so happy about it. And now I'm enjoying myself a lot because I'm like, okay, they know how to do their job. And actually, I think you trust me as well, because
Yes,
at first,
it's true.
like, okay.
Yes. No, it felt that day, it felt like birthing to a child.
Yeah.
Because we were all there waiting, and actually, I didn't tell you this, but some of the people actually went and put the
No
ear.
way.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah, no
And
pressure.
we could hear, and she's laughing.
I was laughing. So
I
I
was
was
like-
clapping. My friends were, because I went with some of my friends. It was an amazing day.
Because we knew how important it was to give her approval. Otherwise, so the director was nearly having a heart attack, the producer nearly having a heart attack, and it's Alex de la Iglesia, which is a genre producer. So actually, his office is near a lot of
crazy.
scary stuff. So I was like, oh my god, and so it was very tense moment. And when she came out laughing, and I think you hugged the director.
I went
Straight to the director, and she hugged, and we went.
Yeah, and I thank them because they did an amazing job that you can tell because of the success of the movies. And now everything that I'm doing, like traveling around the world and meeting all my fans and having my books in Germany, in French, it's crazy. And I don't know.
India.
Yeah, and it was like my big dream to have a movie of my book, and no one believed in me at first. It was like, okay, this girl just dreaming big. And that's what I learned. Like, sometimes you really need to dream big to achieve amazing things. And that's what I want to teach my future children if I have them, and all the people that are here today. That it's really important to trust yourself, and if you love something that you're doing, like, just go for it.
I love that message. I mean, it is, I can imagine how intimidating that creative process is for both parties, right? Because, like you said, it's giving birth to two but same projects, right? Maria, I would love for you to share a little bit more about, that executive producer process. Like, how do you balance staying true to the source material and still make it engaging for viewers on screen?
Yes, it was very challenging at times. I think we both understand that it is a teamwork also, but it was very important for the producers and for Amazon to understand how important the author is. So first of all, I think you need to understand the importance of the author, especially now with BookTok, TikTok, BookTok, etc., especially with BookTok, because they talk to the fans and the fans engage with them. And when they love them, it's great. When they don't, oh my God.
Scary.
Very scary. So you have to find that balance, right? So it's very important, I think, first of all, that I think when the adaptation, what we did is that we understood that. So it was very important to bring her in from the beginning and make her part of all the decisions. But also, we also understood very well what we were doing. For example, I think it's very important to understand Alex and Poughkeepsie. Alex and Carolina Bang are the producers, husband and wife. Alex's two daughters that were 17 came to his father because I'm not sure if you guys know, but Alex is a very famous director, but more well known for genre movies. He's been to Sitges, he's been to international, but especially with terror. So it was very weird to have him produce. One day I asked him, like, what? Why are you here? And he was like, my daughters want me to do this, and I better do it right. So
We own them everything.
yes. So we've got 3 fans at their home that were killing them if they didn't make a good decision, because it was the 2 daughters and Carolina's younger sister that were Wattpad fans. So they were the ones that wrote the book. So there you have a producer that really trusted and were very cautious. And they found a very good director, Domingo, really trusted the book. He was a big fan himself. He was, which was like, okay, but 50-year-old, I don't know. But he really trusted, and he really knew what he wanted to do. So he was like, oh, so Mercedes, what the fans like, what the fans don't like. So we found a very good director that really trusted the material and believed in it. And I think from the beginning in Amazon MGM Studios, the whole team in development really trusted the material and really wanted, it felt like we were fans ourselves. And actually, we do call ourselves Culpables. I'm not going to say my age, but it does feel like we're also fans. So it was like, what is exciting for you to see? What do they think? So actually, also the people from the teams, from the social teams, which were younger, I used to give them the scripts like, hey, what do you think? No, people don't talk like that anymore. Look at BookTok. No, we don't listen to this anymore. And it also, because we're talking about YA, but this is more than that. I think this is more new adult. This is more NA. Because we had an older female reader that came in. I don't know if you, but what happened this summer, but with the summer I turned pretty. Yeah. Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah. So even older women, right? So it was very important for us as well in the adaptation. So that is why we brought Marta Azas and Ivan Sanchez that had a huge fandom. Those are the parents. And so we didn't want to kick out the older audience. That's why also the soundtrack feels like young, but if you're a bit older, it doesn't throw you out like, oh my God, reggaeton. So it does, and we actually have one classic in each of the movies. We have Gasolina in the first, Chemical Brothers, which was a bold choice in the second, and then we've got Donna Summer in the third. So we did want to look for references for older audiences as well.
I love that this whole process has been so rooted in fandom from like the the stories, the how, like even the music was selected by the fans, which, I think that that's what makes them so, relatable, or people love enjoying them. They're really entertained by it. I would say one of the things, now obviously the last installment is out. Did you still continue that sort of like creative process fueled by fandom when you were creating the last movie?
I think yes. Actually, two things really funny happened that people at Amazon wanted to kill me. When we saw the last cut in December with the ending song, Mercedes looked at me and said, and she left. And I love the movie, but the song, and so all of my team came, hey, you like the song? And it's like, And then in January, I came back and said, no, we can't do this. What? I'm like, we cannot end a worldwide phenomenon with this song. It was a great song. Actually appeared in the Summer I Turned Pretty, I'm not going to say. But it belonged to another phenomenon, another adaptation. So it was like, no, we have to find our own song. And we actually, será perché bueno, I'm going to say it, but watch the movie first. But this adaptation, that song that is actually now, in the party of Culpa, I saw fans dancing to that song. And actually Nicole was singing that song. And I said, that's the song I want to end the movie with. So we changed it. And then also, when in this summer, we released the teaser. And the teaser had 173 million views.
Wow.
Like more than Barbie. So
that's crazy.
So I called again my Amazon team post-production. It's like, hey, I want to change it again. And they're like, what? And I was like, sorry. So because we had end titles that ended with black and white letters. And it was like, we cannot give the fans 163 views of a teaser months earlier and finish the movie like, that's it. That's it. So we actually changed the title credits. We've got a surprise. Mercedes wrote something there also. So we really thought of the fans there too. It took us a bit of time because the movies were finished before, but we didn't mind. We were like, get into the editing room. Amazon wanted to kill me, but it's like, I don't care because we're doing it for the fans. Actually, I wrote a mail like, for the fans. And in the States, they were like, for the fans? And I'm like, Maria, we're going to open the edit room because of the fans. I'm like, yes, you are. So we did.
It was worth it.
I think so too.
It was.
So obviously, we teased that the final installment is released today. Mercedes, can you share what can audiences expect in this final chapter, both emotionally and narratively?
Actually, it's my favorite movie and my favorite book, and a lot of fans feel the same way about like the book. They're watching the movie now. I don't know what they think.
Literally.
But what I can say is that you're gonna have like some kind of what you found in the first movie, the tension between them. If you don't know, they're not together anymore in the third one. So there was a lot of tension, a lot of love. It's very funny, which I think people are not expecting that, and I love that. We have Jenna and Lion; they're amazing. The music and it's so romantic, and like you need to pay attention because there's a lot of things going on. It's like a 2-hour movie, and it feels like it's crazy. But the book is the same way. It's a very long book, and I know it was very difficult to adapt because there were a lot of things going on, and the fans were like, we need this and we need this, and it was hard to cut some parts, but I think the most important parts are there. And yeah, I'm so happy. As I said before, it's my favorite movie. You're gonna love it, I'm sure.
I love that. Maria, you've referenced now a few other sort of book to screen titles. They've obviously struck an emotional chord with, the audience worldwide. I'd love for you to sort of could you share or maybe give hints to, prospective authors here on what are key secret ingredients for a successful adaptation?
Wow, the secret of success. Well, you never know. I think it's very unexpected, but I think you have to be true to yourself and to your book. You have to. Here now, were looking for clearly for something that for more adrenaline, more a love story that moves you, and I don't know. I think be true to yourself and find the other adaptations we're working with also with Mercedes. They're very different. So you have to find also something else, right? You know, you cannot repeat yourself also. And I think we are working on doing each adaptation very differently, like Dímelo, the Dímelo trilogy. It's more moody or more sad, but then you've got Marfil coming up, Enfrentados, so it's great. But I think you have to find your own voice, and also it's very important for future authors. I think you have to find the right partner to adapt your movie, and so you don't get disappointed when that comes out. So you need to find someone who speaks like you, and you need to talk a lot. And this is something in development execs. We do talk a lot with producers, with directors, with scriptwriters. What movie do you want? What movie do I want? Because sometimes it's like, hey, we're not going to go the same path, and otherwise you get to a place when it gets very difficult. And we didn't, because we knew from the beginning, even it was a rocky beginning, but we had clearly that what we wanted very clear. We both loved Tres Metros, so it was a big reference for us.
Yeah.
And
you were a fan of the book.
Yes.
And I think that's very important. Like, she was the #1 fan, and she loved this genre.
Yes, genre. Yes, la YA.
She loved it, so I think that's very important, because otherwise it's not going to work. Like, you need to love what you're doing.
Yes.
And understand the audience as well.
And get a partner that really trusts it. For the first question as an exec that I give to these script writers sometimes is, do you like the book? Do you like the story? Are you ready to do this? Do you believe in this kind of genre? Because if you don't, bye-bye. And in the second and third installment, we got a different scriptwriter, Sofia, he's amazing. She's actually the scriptwriter of Enfrentados, because she really, truly believed in the genre and the books. And in Enfrentados, she's been sort of the defender when you're not there. So it's very important to find the right partner.
Mercedes, you hinted at a lot of new things for you coming up. Can you share what's next for you, new projects that you're working on?
Well, we have the House of Brown that we announced.
Yes, our own house.
A week ago.
Yes.
We're going to have like 10 adaptations coming out, which is crazy. I'm so happy. In December, Tell Me Softly is coming out.
Super excited.
The book just launched here, I think. And then we have Ivory or Marfil, which I don't know when it's coming out, but soon.
Next year.
And that's the different story. It's more adult. It's like a thriller, but with romance. It's like a bodyguard falling in love with this beautiful girl, and it's like a forbidden love. So I like that all my series are very different from one another, but you still find what makes me like what I like. And of course, I'm having a new book coming out next year, which I will announce very soon, and I can wait. Yes.
Obviously, you also have an incredible fan base on social media. I'd love to know how you plan to sort of continue your relationship as you sort of make these new announcements and new projects. If you could share a little bit more about that process.
Well, now it changed a lot. Like, I overthink it a lot. Like, I want to do a post today because of the movie release, and I was like, until 2 a.m. in the night, I was like just editing my reels that I'm gonna post today. So I think it's very important right now what I post and what I say, and I need to choose my words. Like, when I was the beginning, it was for fun, and now like my social media is like a professional way, but as well is the way to talk to my fans and have fun with them and enjoy everything that's going on, which is everything is good news. So yeah, I try to be there for them and listen to them. I read the comments, which are great. Sometimes not, because but if I can learn from that, it's great. So yeah, I can't wait to get in TikTok and see what they're thinking about the movie.
Yeah, well, it'll be fun to see how people are reacting to the series. Maria, as streaming continues to evolve, how is Amazon thinking about global collaboration, cross-market storytelling, or audience expansion strategies?
I think we think more global now, because we've seen clearly, well, it happened before, but we are seeing a clear boom of all these adaptations that are working well. Maxton Hall, and The Samaritan Pretty, Culpables, and hopefully we've got Dímelo. We're also expanding our horizons, not more to the YA, to the NA. I think we're focusing more on that now, and other targets as well. So we're thinking more like, it's so exciting to see how the whole world now it's at a click. So it's very important for us to find these stories that can work locally, because we cannot forget our local markets, but resonate globally. So we look at them and see what they're thinking also. It's very funny because the other day I read in, I think it was TikTok or Book Talk, that is this, the executives are Amazon, are they reading what we're saying? And it's like, yes, we are. We live at TikTok now.
Which can be kind of scary because the comments can be hilarious and funny at the same time. Speaking of TikTok, I mean, obviously the book-to-screen adaptation and the discovery of new titles has been very, very successful for a lot of studios. Does Amazon still plan to continue sort of like seeking those like hidden gems within the book talk community?
Yes, keep asking for. Actually, it's really funny because when we had, Amazon had it very clear that we wanted to adapt Enfrentados, I think. And also, when Dímelo came in, we were like, okay, let's do the whole Merced run.
Thank you.
It was very, of course, it was very funny to see that when we announced the Culpas, do you remember that the fans were, but what about Enfrentados? What about Dímelo? So they were asking us, and we were like, yes, we have it. So we're also working in other adaptations as well that we looked at Book Talk. And yes, every time there is a gem, we're more than happy to look at it and adapt it and bring it to the fans.
So we're going to end off with, obviously fandom is so large on TikTok. And this past April, we launched our first multi-title book-to-screen spotlight campaign that really allowed fans of 14 different Amazon Prime Video book-based titles to engage in challenges. And I would say this has been like the most exciting on and off fandom experience for book talk and film lovers as a whole, me being one of them. And so for the audience today, if you open your TikTok app, Spotlight is live for the new Culpable series. So please search up Culpa Nuestra for the latest fan content, and please create content. I think everyone would be so excited to see all of your thoughts and feedback about it. We also have a panel on Saturday that is featuring Ben Philippe of Maxton Hall, and TikTok is also sponsoring the book awards where Mercedes and Maria are nominated, so please attend that as well. I think we have 3 minutes for Q&A if anybody is brave enough to ask in front of an audience, or you can wait also and ask at the end, but see a couple of hands. Oh, great.
You mentioned coming out a book or movie called Killing Me Softly, correct?
Tell Me Softly, yes.
Okay. Are you planning on securing the rights for Roberta Flack Killing Me Softly song for that event? It'd be a nice combination.
Oh, Maria. Maybe.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, it will be good, yes. Thanks.
Okay, my English is not so good. Sorry, I speak Spanish. It's my first language. Just want to say thank you to Maria because Amazon has so great adaptations, and I don't want to mention other platforms, but I'm really fan of the books and the movies. I'm really fan from Twilight. I have a tattoo too. So for me, it's really important. I have a book tour. I'm from Chile. So this is really important for me. Has good adaptations, like real adaptations. Really fiel al libro.
Sí.
So it's really important for me. So thank you to Maria and thank you to Mercedes, because I know that you are really in the project. So that's really important too. So thank you.
Thank you.
both.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
We do our hard so for you two guys to like the book. The movie.
And I'm there pushing, like, please.
Any final questions? Oh, I think there's one over here.
My question is for Maria. Sorry. My question is for Maria. I know that you're working with Amazon in Spain, but do you know if Amazon have plans to expand their content with book adaptations from other countries like Latin America and other countries that are not so represented in the movie industry at this point?
Yes, a lot. Actually, in Ibiza, we presented a lot of YA adaptations that come from France. Italy has their own. Well, of course, Maxton Hall coming for season 2. Latin American is going hard also with many adaptations. So I guess it's a bit our fault. but yes, a lot is coming and a lot from other countries.
Great, I think we're at time. Thank you both for being here. And thank you to the lovely audience.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thanks. Thank you.